Did you know that one simple mistake could put your S corporation at risk, potentially costing you thousands of dollars in penalties? Many S-Corp owners are slipping up by not paying themselves a reasonable wage, and the IRS may be getting ready to pounce on this. The first line of defense? Document and pay yourself a reasonable wage. Stick around because we're about to share exactly what the IRS says you need to do to get this right and keep them off your back. I'm Aaron Stegner, and I have been helping business owners navigate the complex world of running a business for over a decade, focusing mainly on S corporations. So you're running an S corporation, smart move. The tax benefits are great, but with great power comes great responsibility. Specifically, the responsibility to pay yourself a reasonable salary. But what does reasonable even mean? Let's break it down. The IRS requires S-Corp shareholder employees receive a reasonable compensation for the services they provide. Why? Because salaries are subject to payroll taxes, while distributions are not. Underpaying yourself can look like you're trying to dodge these payroll taxes. In fact, a report from Treasury found that the IRS could be missing out on billions in payroll taxes due to underreported compensation by S-Corp owners. Even Congress has noted this and has proposed to change the tax law, but as of this video, the law hasn't been changed. That's a big red flag waving right at us. So how do you figure out what's reasonable? The IRS expects you to pay yourself based on your role in the company. They consider many factors, including training and experience, duties and responsibilities, time and effort devoted to the business, dividend history, payments to non-shareholder employees, timing and manner of paying bonuses to key people, what comparable businesses pay for similar services, compensation agreements. This is overwhelming, but there is a simple way to get started. If you were to sit at home eating bonbons, what would you have to pay someone else to do everything you do? First, roles and responsibilities. What are you actually doing day to day? Are you managing? Are you sweeping the floor? Are you pulling wires? Are you bidding? Next, experience and expertise. Are you new to your trade, or do you have decades of experience? Third, number of hours worked. Are you working full-time or part-time? How many hours are spent on highly technical tasks versus low-skill tasks? And last, industry benchmarks. What's the going rate for your position in your industry and location? For example, if you're a master electrician in Minnesota with 10 years of experience, you should be paying yourself accordingly and not a minimum wage. Remember, these 4 factors mentioned are not all-inclusive, but starting with them in your analysis will go a long way. Let me tell you about John. He owns a plumbing S-Corp and decided to pay himself $30,000 a year without adequate support for that amount. He took the rest of his profits as distributions. The IRS audited him, determined his role was worth $90,000 annually, based on the before-mentioned IRS factors, and slapped him with back taxes of $10,000 and penalties of another $20,000. Don't be like John. Here are actionable steps to stay on the IRS's good side. Research market salaries. Use resources like the Bureau of Labor Statistics or salary websites. Do a time study. Analyze the time you spend working on tasks for the business. Document everything. Keep detailed records of how you determined your salary. Remember, proper documentation could require the IRS to disprove your analysis. If you do not have any documentation, that makes it easier for them. Consult a professional. A certified public accountant like me can provide personalized guidance. Review annually. As your roles in the business change, adjust your salary accordingly. Failing to pay yourself a reasonable wage isn't just risky, it's costly. You could face unnecessary stress of an audit, having to pay back taxes based on a reasonable wage, and penalties and interest. Payroll penalties are much stiffer than other penalties, and keep in mind, the IRS usually doesn't audit you for a couple years. So to keep your S-Corp running smoothly and the IRS out of your life, make sure you're paying yourself a reasonable wage. If you found this information helpful, give this video a thumbs up and share it with your fellow S-Corp owners who might also need a heads up. Have questions or personal experiences? Drop them in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss out on upcoming tips to help your business. Thanks for watching and see you next time.